The NFL playoffs are here, and this matchup on Wild Card Weekend is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bengals and the Dolphins. All that and more coming up next.
Playoff fever has immersed South Florida as we are at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
And he comes off of a really good regular season with over 4,000 yards passing. And now in the playoffs, people always ask the question, do you continue to play the way you played in the regular season? Do you turn it loose? Or do you tone it down a little bit? I think you've got to be smart, but make sure you show the defense something they haven't seen before.
Tua to throw right away. And his first look is incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
The first carry for the shifty Tariq Cohen. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
That's pulled in at the 32. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And he was absolutely sensational throwing the football all year long. Better than 40 touchdown passes. That means he made good decisions, and his team trusted him with the ball. So I can't imagine a scenario in this game where they change their philosophy. If they trusted him in the regular season, they're going to trust him now and let him turn it loose.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And not much room to speak of. We'll get about 40 up to the 41. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Over the middle to Beckham. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Back to throw here, Herbert. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. He'll find his tight end here, Asiasi. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play a 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well. Because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can run to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Mixon is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. And you know, Charles, it's been a terrific season for them. They couldn't quite get that #1 seed and the associated bye that goes with it, but nevertheless, they've got to be one of the favorites here to win it all.
They do because of the season that they've had, the position that they're in, and we know under the old playoff system, they would have this game off. This weekend would not be one that they would play, but nevertheless, maybe it's a good thing. Sometimes you carry that momentum from the season all the way through the playoffs. If you get that open week, sometimes you lose it a little bit. So I think that's what's going to be their mindset.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Tua. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Tagovailoa going to try and throw on third down. Ebron caught left side. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Tua now on first down. They will find Davis. That's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cohen. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive.
Blue check. Make red.
Here's Tua. Dancing to his left. And that will be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Mixon with a first down carry. To the 36-yard line, stop there.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. It's caught. Beckham. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. First down, Justin Herbert. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Melvin Ingram. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
But this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
They'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes.
Oh, Cohen lost the football, and the Bengals have recovered it.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in a running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Herbert. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round, they told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Another try for Mixon. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. This is a big play in this wild card matchup facing 3rd and goal. Herbert. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. Instead, it's 4th down.
But he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Phillips. He's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there.
They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Tua going to throw. He's got a man complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run up the middle with Cohen, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On 2nd and 12, Herbert.
Throw left side here, taken in by Asiasi, the tight end.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say, we'll see what happens. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this returnable for Hill. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We had great action yesterday, and this, the first of 3 more games coming at you here on Wildcard Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's AFC wildcard game. And you can see the result there. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Bengals in that first half. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. Plenty of adjustments likely being made by both teams in their respective locker rooms. To find out who advances to the divisional round, let's get you back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This fielded right at the goal line. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Dolphins have got it. So that's a solid start to the second half. You come out of the lockers losing, thinking you're kicking it away, not going to have it, but boom, the fumble, they get it right back.
I don't know whether they even drew that up on the board or was it just said, but they had to have it. They needed a spark to get them going here in the second half, and they got it right away.
Ready.
2 and now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. The 40, 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Miami set to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Logan Wilson that time there to bring him down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to mix
to a hit, and the ball is out, and the Bengals grab it. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Mixing up the middle. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
It's caught by OBJ. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Herbert. Going right back to Beckham here, complete. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. A quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Running left, it's Mixon. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. That time a 6-play drive. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain of 32 that time.
That's why you call a screen. You want to catch a defense overcommitting. Plenty of space available, and that matched up perfectly. What a convoy he got downfield to pick up big yardage on that play.
First down, a run with Cohen. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Bengals set to take over. They're continuing to rock and roll, and at intermission, you know, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise? That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going. You know, that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Here's Herbert. And, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Now Hill to return it. Ooh, the juke. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They try again with Cohen. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
That's complete to Swain. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
One quarter remains for the right to survive round one here in the AFC. Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. To throw again on second down. Thompson, the screen pass here to Cohen.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Again, Thompson's going to throw this. That one to Swain, complete. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
Now Thompson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Freddie Swain was the intended receiver.
But it'll be 2nd and goal. Between the tackles with Cohen. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Eric Ebron. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this 4th quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's Herbert. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Holding, offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
Still 3rd
So
down.
what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert.
And that nearly the pick that they needed.
He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Miami's offense set and ready to go. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10.
Opposite. 3. Watch.
Tua sets up to pass it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Check right. Yellow. Line. Check pitch.
Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3. And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And that is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. On the give, this is Cohen. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. 23 yards to pick up there. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. The throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
He'll drop this one down to Cohen, and he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
So offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You have 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. But he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. "43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So Tua and the Dolphins down by 2 touchdowns. 1:38 to go.
Here we go.
This crowd has stayed with them throughout, but they need 2 late scores to advance in these playoffs as they've got a 1st down. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
But they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Here's Tua. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a Dolphins 1st down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Going to get this to Cohen. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Tua. And that's complete to Davis. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Tagovailoa gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Oh, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Now Tua. Looking deep here for Ebron. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Tua on 4th down. One last shot at the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, their playoff run may end right here. They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.